Good morning, good afternoon, hello, wherever you are. This is Jessica coming from the Richard West Assistive Technology Advocacy Center. We are here today to do another tech spotlight highlighting assistive technology for people with disabilities and also technology for people without disabilities as well. Assistive technology can help everyone. So we are here today with the team from Doorbotics and they're going to discuss their product with us today and how it can help people with disabilities. So with all that said, you guys can go ahead and take it away.
Great. Well, thanks for the intro. So I'm Dr. Jeff Ackerman from Doorbotics. I'm also an engineering professor, mechanical engineering at Colorado School of Mines. And today we're showing you our Theodoor system. So the Theodoor system is a really low cost, easy to install automatic door opener system. Yeah, we can give you a demo as well as show you some other cool features. But I'll hand it off to my colleague, Sevi.
Hi everyone, I'm Sevi Swift, CEO of Doorbotics. Yeah, we're excited to show you today what we've created and what we're currently selling.
Yeah, I can just give you a quick demo, explain what it is, talk about some of the features. So with the Theodoor system, we've got let me just pivot down here. We've got the Doorbot on the bottom unit. So this is the actual door opening unit. It has a wheel, like spring-loaded wheel that can come down and then grip the surface of the floor and pull the door open. It's a lot different than conventional door openers that are usually mounted, overhead on top of the door, really invasive and difficult to install. This one right now is just stuck on with just double-sided tape. So it's great for renters, and very portable. So it can work in apartments, condos, that kind of thing. This unit down here is installed on a bathroom door in my basement. It also works on front doors, really pretty much any door. This one has been tested for over a year's worth of operation, and we're just doing more long-term testing. Then we've got the LatchBot. The LatchBot is paired directly with the Doorbot system, and that actually is the unit that unlatches the door, which is a lot easier than electric strikes. Electric strikes are really invasive. You have to dig out the door frame, whereas this installs with the two existing screws on the side of the door. Um, so yeah, let's give it a try. We can talk about some more features. So when I press this Bluetooth button, it's all Bluetooth, so no Wi-Fi is required, but we can add smart home features if needed for users. So press this Bluetooth button, it'll unlatch and then open the door. So there's the unlatching piece, and then it's going to start to pull the door open. Let's see if you can see that. Yep, nice. And then there's a timer, a 12-second timer that's adjustable. You can also press the button again to close it, either way. And it always goes to 90 degrees automatically, so it's auto calibrating. So there it goes, the timer expired, closes the door, and now we're good to go. A couple other cool features about it are that there's zero resistance. So when I grab this door handle, you can see that there is no resistance. The door feels exactly the same as normal. And because the wheel is completely lifted, we all have the experience of fighting with automatic door opener systems, like commercial ones that are just kind of add some resistance. This one doesn't matter, right? Super easy to install. You can see up here that we've got, oops, let me shift that. There we go. You can see up here we've got just the two existing screws on the side of any door handle that we attach the latch bar onto. And then down here, it's just stuck on with tape. You can also screw this on though if you want permanent install. But we've done over a year's worth of testing with just tape, right? Which you can always re-add.
Another important thing to note is, as you can see, this is in carpet. It works on hardwood floors. It works on this difficult carpet. It works on deeper carpet. There's quite a bit of pressure pushing down so that it can make sure it can open every time.
So
Yeah.
I have a couple questions already.
Hmm.
Um, One is you're with the tape and everything that you're describing, you're saying that this is a portable system.
Yep.
So for example, if has anyone ever tried to uh take this while traveling? Are you able to use it at like hotels and whatnot? And how like have you heard any success stories w with that process?
Yeah, so we haven't had anyone take it in a portable capacity yet. We're selling our first 10 units right now. So we're still very early. No one has taken it to a hotel. Now, primarily when I say portable, I mean that this could be easily transported between houses. We're focused on residential uses right now. So we're focused on residential door handles mainly and residential doors. So
Okay.
this particular unit wouldn't necessarily work with all hotel doors because it's slightly different door hardware.
Yeah, and to
Um,
add on a little bit more to that, the way it works is you push it on, the adhesive is very strong, so it like holds onto the door and will like pull open the door. And despite being pulling on the door and only going through that, it's strong enough to like pull the whole door open. And then when you want to take it off, the wings of that little bracket you can just pry off and still manually take the whole thing off by yourself so that you can move it to a new place. And we provide extra adhesive so that it can be portable between lots of different places. I see Kirsten asked a question in the chat. The unit have to be plugged in? Does it have a battery? It does have to be plugged in. As you can see, the cable just goes to a standard wall outlet. We give you a pretty long cable, so if the wall outlet isn't very close, it's still able to be gone. We also give you clips so that you can clip the cord along the wall and other places. Just adhesive clips, so again, not damaging the wall or anything else in any way to get there. It does not have a battery currently. Future iterations will. The idea of having a battery is exactly. So we want to have a battery so that it'll work during a power outage and it can still be functional. However, remember that there's zero resistance on this thing. So the door still works perfectly well manually, despite a power outage or anything like that. It's not giving any added resistance, but you're right that it's no longer automatic. And so that's part of why we want to have a battery for a power outage.
yeah,
I'm
so
I'm guessing that that's why one of the reasons why this is maybe more innovative than other similar products is that it doesn't offer resistance. I noticed that other automatic door options often have a lot of resistance once things are put into place for automatic entry. Am I correct in that assumption?
yeah, yeah, for sure. Th This device fails very safe. So there's just zero resistance, right? That you have to overcome if there is a power outage. Right now, it won't work in a power outage because it is plugged into the wall. We are going to add backup batteries, like Sevi said, in the future. And an easy solution in the near term, if you wanted to use this unit, is you would just plug it into a standard backup battery, like a universal UPS battery, right? So there are options there. We just don't have an integrated battery just yet. Um, and there's another question, is there a timer that can be set for how long the door stays open? Yeah, so there's an adjustable knob inside the unit that you just turn if you want it to stay open for longer. The default value I have set here is just 12 seconds, which has been enough for a lot of power wheelchair users to get in and out through testing. But definitely you can make that as long as you want. Um, yeah, and
Another thing to talk a little bit more about is the key fob. Can you show that a little bit more clearly, Jeff? It kind
sure.
of got washed out. Can you bring it close and angle it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically the top's raised and it covers almost the whole top surface. So the idea is like even if there's limited dexterity, this button can still be pressed. We also provide adhesive tape on it so that it can go on a wheelchair, it can go on a walker, it can go on the wall, it can go on lots of different places. In order to allow like whatever's most convenient for the user. And we provide two paired buttons with all the devices.
Yeah,
Does,
and
does the
go
key
ahead.
fob also have the ability to adjust the time frame on the key fob, or do you have to do that by you know?
So when we talked with users, we realized like usually like once the time frame is set, like every like the time frame is very dependent on the user. And so like if by setting it at the beginning, that's usually good enough. It doesn't need to be adjusted later. So no, it doesn't work from the button right now. The button only does one thing, which is press to open, press to close.
Yeah, but that being said, just to clarify the functionality here, so the timer's fixed, but you can easily adjust it. But when I do press this button, one option that's kind of nice is if this door oh, there we go. Is if that door is now open and you set like a long 30-second or higher timer that's longer than this, you can always just press the button again and then the door just closes. So although it does have that adjustable timer, you can always just press the button again to close it early. So that's one thing to note about timing.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking in the event, like if someone has a disability and they um realize in the moment that they need more time, are they going to need assistance in adjusting the time if they cannot access the unit down below? Um, are they going to have to wait, for example, to get further assistance from someone to adjust the timer in case they can't reach, etc. was my thought.
Yeah, our recommendation would be just to set the timer ahead of time. We can easily do that before we ship out the unit. It's literally just turning a knob, and that really should ideally just be a one-time thing because we haven't really encountered examples where you need to dynamically adjust the time. Again, because you can easily just trigger the system, the safest bet is you just have a timer that's longer than you need, say 15, 30 seconds, which is plenty to get in and out of the door, and you just use this to trigger it to close.
We're
So,
also currently developing an app, and there's chances that that app also has opportunities to like not just adjust the time, but like have features such as holding the door open for longer.
yeah. Yeah, there's lots of things we can do in the future. We're just trying to focus on the easiest user interface for right now, just to make it super simple. But this is great feedback.
There's
Another
also
question.
another question in
Yeah.
the chat about a proximity activation fob.
Yeah.
Um,
So first question before, so yeah, the proximity activation fob, we can absolutely do that. We don't have that yet. But this device is actually capable of that ability to have proximity activation. But we think that for right now, just to keep it simple, the intentionality of the user pressing the button deliberately is a lot better than something that could be falsely triggered by just being in close proximity.
You can
But what
imagine like rolling or walking by your door, and all of a sudden it automatically opens. You don't always want your front door to open if you're inside your home all the time, right?
Yeah.
Whereas we've also just learned that like from talking to lots of users that that's like it's definitely a use case, but it's not a huge use case. It's a small percentage of people.
Yeah, and some of us have seen like wall-mounted buttons on some units that have like a motion sensor, for example, that's like a proximity system. That's absolutely something we can do. It's just we haven't developed that fully yet. But imagine you just go near it, you wave your hand in front of it, and it will do all the same things you're seeing right here as if you press the button. Um, and there was a question also before about is there a certain time to hold the fob down so it could be set so there is an accidental activation. Right now, this is meant to be a very easy button to press, even if you don't have fine hand dexterity. And so the point here is that it is very easy to trigger it. Is it too easy to trigger it? I think that's kind of the point of the question, so you don't have accidental activation. A lot of that just comes down to where you want to mount this, right? So if you mount this on your wheelchair where you're likely to touch it, you just want to like position it carefully so that it doesn't falsely trigger or accidentally trigger. Also, we've seen a lot of people just prefer to mount it on the wall with some double-sided tape, and that works great because as long as you just come near it and smack it, you're good to go. Um, so yeah, I think that's all the immediate questions. What's the amount of pressure to activate? It's super low. So I'll just kind of show you like I'm gonna barely like touch it here, right? Like
Yeah.
that was
I think
very,
another
very
way to
light
think
pressure.
about it is if you just drop the fob, it almost always activates. It's like that light. Like if you drop it like this from this high. Yeah.
Yeah, and if I just use like my broad hand here, you can kind of see like it didn't require very much at all. You can press anywhere on the top. One other cool thing I want to just mention, speaking of safety, is if we trigger the system, we have some really neat safety features. So if the door is now opening and something gets in the way of the door, like your wheelchair, walker, cane, anything like that, system automatically stops, right? Now, when this happens, you're like, okay, maybe I'll press the button again, which you can do, or you can literally just grab the door and just with your fingers gently push it open, and it finishes the full opening cycle, the 90 degrees. I can also do the same thing. I can grab the door, very intuitive, and just tap it closed, and it'll close. Or if I get in the way of it, right, it'll stop if the wheelchair's in the way, and now it's completely disengaged, right? And so it kind of has that safety first mindset where there's really no way to get stuck between this device, right? Like a typical automatic door, you often can get stuck while the door is closing on you in like commercial door openers. We're trying to focus on really seamless operation here. Also to note, we do have these wires coming down. These are very easy to hide with just standard plastic channel. That's how we typically do it. I didn't install it here because this is just like a cycle tester. This thing has opened this door over 8,000 times right now over the last week. But what you would do is for aesthetics, you would just hide this in plastic channel and you would hide this cord in the plastic channel. Um, so yeah, let's see. What other questions?
So you said you're in the beginning stages of getting this up and rolling in terms of getting it out there to the public. Um, what would be the process if someone were interested in in trying to purchase the device and how would they go about the process and what is the kind of like
Yeah,
teachable.
great question, Jessica. I'll answer that. So right now we are selling the unit. The best way is to just contact us. I'm sure you'll give out our contact information after this, and have a meeting. We can talk about like the use cases and like what it's good for. We're talking to lots of AT orgs around the country, and I've actually sold already like 3 or 4 units to AT lending libraries and other orgs for to actually show to users. And then from there, it's like currently we're charging around $1,500 for these early pilot units. And the idea of these pilot units is it's completely refundable if it's not a good fit. And then we also like want to have lots of feedback back and forth about like what's working and what's not, so that we can improve the product for the next iteration. The next iteration is going to come more in the fall. And is gonna right now we have a like an open, you can have an open deposit for that, and that's gonna be a little bit more mass market for allowing anybody to like purchase this for their own benefit, but also like through vocational rehab, Medicaid waivers, other stuff like that will help, and working with organizations like y'all to do so. Um, yeah,
So
Jeff, do you want to add anything else?
Yeah, and our website is just doorbotics.com. So it's just door and then botics, like the end of robotics, doorbotics.com. And our email
doorbotics.com.
is hello@doorbotics.com.
Okay. I'm gonna put that in the chat so that people know. Um, hello at doorbotics.com. And for those who don't have access to the chat when they um so that they can hear it too. Hello. Oh, there we go. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's the
Yeah.
just the website.
Yeah, and just so that people are aware of kind of where we're at, we have our first sales, which we're really excited about. We hand build these units here in the US in my house, basically. It's working really well. We're really excited about the potential for people with disabilities. This was originally invented by our co-founder, also Dr. Brad Doerstock at Purdue, who I've worked with closely over the years, and he's a C4, C5 quadriplegic. We have very good like core understanding of automatic door openers and the disabilities that this can help. And we're really excited about the potential. Also, with the units, right, the install is very easy. So it literally takes 10, maybe 20 minutes max to install this system. You just remove the tape on the back. There's a coating on the back of the tape. You stick it on your door at the right height. You plug it into the wall outlet, And then for the latch bot, you literally just remove your two existing screws, put the latch bot on, screw your screws back in, and all told, it's about 10 minutes. The system auto calibrates and it just kind of works out of the box. So the idea here is a super simple DIY install that pretty much anybody with a screwdriver and some basic, handy skills will be able to install. We also would be available for support, right, via email or a video call. Um, so if anybody's really interested in this technology and how it could fit in their home, definitely reach out.
So the key fob itself is really it's really small. Um, do you have any recommendations for how to hold on to it for safety reasons? And if someone, for example, if someone were to drop the fob, I think that was mentioned before, and they don't have the ability to pick it up, is there like a secondary way to make sure that they can get their door open and closed, especially if they don't have much or any hand function?
So that's a good question. There's kind of like two aspects to that. One, we're working on an app as a secondary mode of opening. But the main thing is like that key fob comes with some adhesive on it that very much sticks to whatever it's stuck to. So the idea is to like stick it or strap it to the wheelchair or walker so that it can't fall off.
Oh, great. That's perfect. Um,
Yeah. And
so it kind of travels with you.
yeah. Another note is you can pair as many of these key fobs as you want. So the system currently is designed to handle up to 20 of these, which should be more than anyone needs, practically speaking. And we ship it with two of these, one for, inside, one for outside, so you can mount this on the wall. Um, but also a lot of people are choosing to put the external key fob, the second key fob, on their wheelchairs, for example, with that double-sided tape. But if you want more of these buttons just for redundancy, you can order those as well, right? We could accommodate that request, no problem.
We've also had some users say they actually like do want them on their keys, and even given maybe a little bit less dexterity, even just having them on their keys and moving it around and pressing it themselves is like what they want to do. And that way it's like on the thing that they already exist that opens their door and does other things for them. Another aspect we haven't talked about yet that I think is important, just to like mention as kind of a not a perfect advantage, is right now we both unlatch, so it's like turning the handle and open the door, so like pulling open the door. We currently do not mess with the lock in any way. So if you have a deadbolt and this is on your front door, we currently don't interact with that, right? So that's a separate safety system. However, this could be integrated with a smart lock in the sense that you have a smart lock as well. You use that to unlock the door, but then you can use our button to physically open and close it. In the future, one thing we really want to do is we want to have one button does everything, so it both unlocks, unlatches, and opens. So we're currently actually developing a unlocking method as well. However, like currently, what we're selling does not include that. One really cool thing about the unlocking with our system is we're already sending power up to the handle, so we'll be able to send power to the lock as well. And so you don't have to worry about replacing batteries in any way for the smart lock, which is one of the current most annoying parts about smart locks, if not the most annoying.
That's great. Um,
Yeah, and just wanted to share one thing here. My web browser got a little bit messed up there. Um, I think there we go. I think you can see that. So one thing to note, if people are familiar with, existing solutions, like Stanley, Open Sesame, they're pretty invasive to install. One of the big reasons why is because that electric strike down there. So let me just move that out of the way. So that electric strike needs to be permanently modified and cut into the door frame. So you can see an example down here of how you would actually do that with the current technology. So all automatic door openers currently have to do this. But
If they
our
want to be
system
locked.
doesn't. Yeah. So you literally have to get in there and dig out the door frame, and you can see kind of the end result there after a bunch of cutting from someone who's done this a lot. Got to fit it exactly in there, and you're going to have to run wires through your door frame to get to that electric strike. So very invasive install, and it requires professional contractor and an electrician to get this electric strike installed into any residential door. And because it's super invasive, you can't really install this in a rental unit. Very few landlords would be willing to approve something like this that is permanently in the door frame. We don't have to do that, right? Our electric strike, or we call it the latch bot, is just dramatically easier to install. So you can see that right here. So with those two existing screws, it just screws directly onto pretty much any residential door handle. So super easy and anybody can do it in 10, 20 minutes. Also on our website, you can see this video. I've been showing you the demos here on my bathroom door downstairs. Works great on interior doors, but also a lot of people like it for the exterior doors. So here's an example of our co-founder, Brad Doorstock. He's a C4, C5 quad, as I mentioned. This is him opening his front door for the first time. He had a door opener on his door to his garage, but it was incredibly expensive to install, so he chose not to put one on his front door, but now he can with Theodoor. So.
Cool. Any last questions?
What would you say is what would you say is the like top two reasons why this is a superior option for users as opposed to other options? Your
Yeah, I
top
think
two
it all
reasons.
boils, yeah, it all boils down to easy to install, lower cost.
Okay.
Yeah. And lower cost and easy to install both come from the fact that it's not modifying the home in any way, and that opens up a lot of people who currently can't get a door opener, such as renters, apartments, stuff like that.
So with an apartment user, you're focusing on the fact that it is less invasive
It's not
to
less, it's not invasive. You're not modifying the door or anything else in any way, unlike any other door opener right now.
great, great. Um, well, we appreciate all of this information that you've given us. And um, if anyone has any further questions, I will be sending out the information about doorbotics.com and how to contact you directly. And we thank you for your time today.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, if anyone has any further questions, please email, please call us. We'll do a meeting and we'd love to like share more and like really understand your perspective on like, hey, what's the best way to go basically help people. Since you guys understand this market so well.
Yeah,
Thanks
and
so
thanks for all the
much.
feedback.
Thank you.